Okay, good morning. This is Dr. Mia Luth. It is August 18th, 2025. It is 9:15 a.m. Eastern, New York time, USA. So, I had a little incident yesterday. Sometimes, like people who really want to try and be helpful, they do something and then it's like they don't realize some things that I volunteered to cook on Sundays at a group home, and I do my laundry there too while I'm there and hanging out with the clients and all that. And unfortunately for me, okay, my phone and my keys were in the washing laundry bag because that's how I carry them. And unfortunately, someone who likes to try and be helpful to me decided to put my laundry in for me because I had to take care of something. Right? I was doing something to make sure I couldn't cook what I wanted to cook because there were some ingredients missing. So I was trying to figure out, how to put something together for them. And I didn't notice. She just dumped the whole laundry bag in, and she didn't realize that my keys and my phone were in there. So it was about 15 minutes before I noticed. And I tried the rice trick immediately. So far, nothing. I'm going to try and clean off the contacts because there's rice dust on them, but it's not looking promising. So it's going to take me at least another month to have enough funds to buy a decent new one. And I got to buy an unlocked phone because it's um, I get the free minutes or whatever it is, data and minutes. Phone calls are free, but I get a certain, like, I don't know, it's like 3 some, geez, I don't know. Anyway, from the government program, because I only use this phone basically for doctors, and sometimes I use it to check messages, but I have a um, tablet that when I'm home I just use that. Uh, And yeah, I'm still finding little rice pieces falling out of this thing. It's seriously, yeah. So I'm gonna try and clean the contacts off and see if that. I mean, it this is the SIM card, and it didn't affect the SIM card. It may have affected the battery, which is when I try and put the Yeah, you can see the little red thing. Yeah, it usually means it went through the wash. So people tell me, or it's gotten that. Uh, it's so there's only a certain kind of phone that I can buy, and I gotta have I think this is a micro, or one of them. Yeah, sometimes phones have micro, but sometimes they have the bigger. So yeah. Anyway, nothing I can do about it. So you know, I write down most of my doctor's numbers, and I have a case manager that helps me with certain things. So until I get a new phone, I don't have tech with me all day. And if people are not going to listen to me and ignore the fact that I've said numerous times that I do my updates now on YouTube and I share them with X, okay, but my X account is the main social media account I use besides YouTube, right? So, take it or leave it. And all I can say is if someone claiming to be Illuminati, you know, wants to harass, okay, a 53-year-old woman whose whole family is deceased, who has to spend at least, 5 hours a week just at appointments, support groups, certain types of therapy, occupational, all this other stuff. I have 10 specialist people. Actually, I have 12 because 2 of them are dental specialists. And unfortunately, the insurance doesn't really cover everything. So I have to find, resources that I need help with. A lot of the, churches around here, they'll help you with some electricity bills. I mean, there's some things they'll help you with, but yeah, trying to locate even $200, which I need to see the endodontist, even though there is a Healthy Smiles program now in the state of Maryland, which is a win, people. And they will cover up to a certain amount and certain things, but it's certain specialties, and also you can only really use a certain amount a year. There's a lot of administrative and all this rules and policies and whatever. So, I can't put off having oral surgery because, right, I was unable to pay for it, several years ago, and I ended up having to go to shock trauma. Yeah, which was not fun at all. I go to a dentist regularly. I mean, there's certain things that get covered, but also two of my medications, which do work for me, unfortunately, have also the effects of one medication can make your teeth brittle, and the other medication can make your gums, uh, make weaker, and so you're more likely to lose a tooth. So anyway, I am on a donated dental list, which is, I don't know, it can take a little while. I mean, at one point, it was like, it could be up to 24 months, 2 years. So I'm on that wait list. And, the people I live around, they don't have money to loan me, okay? It's absolutely inappropriate for some organization claiming to be the Illuminati putting pressure on someone like me for $300 fucking dollars. But you'll be rich. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I can't pull $300 out of thin fucking air. Shit bags. Yeah, that's what you call being shitty. Especially to a fellow U.S. citizen at the very least. Okay? Like, people are supposed to be trying to tell me all this stuff is supposed to be helpful. Who the fuck are you helping but your own selves? I don't know what to tell you. I've had a lot of shit. Scammers everywhere, all kinds of crap going on. Some of it could actually be AI, which is what I'm trying to tell people. Could the tech giants give a shit and help us out here? Because I don't need an AI boyfriend or girlfriend or any of that crap. I mean, that's what I'm getting at. When there's real people in the world. But I am in a county that is more rural, in the state of Maryland, and certain resources, are not as available. It's just the way it is. I set goals, and sometimes I gotta maneuver in certain ways, or I gotta like change up something, or I have to find resources that can actually help me and all that kind of stuff. So you have to deal with administrative things. You have to deal with the way certain things are set up. You have to understand that certain days are better than others for me. Yesterday was a little bit of a stinker, but I mean, it's just, what can I do? Nothing. Didn't have control over that. I'm not upset. I mean, I'm not upset with the person who did it because she has some whatever difficulties developing also, and really thought that it would be helpful because she knows I do my laundry and she's watched me do it, so she thought she was helping me, and I understand. Okay, I mean, stuff like that happens. She doesn't use this stuff, and there's some things that, I mean, she uses technology, but there's some things that she didn't know. She didn't know my keys and my phone were in there. So what it's just done and over with. Like I said, I'm gonna try and clean the contacts, but if not, it may take me a little while. And I keep trying to download WhatsApp on my laptop. The only problem is it just keeps trying to use my cell phone number, and they gotta verify. And I can't verify with my cell phone because it's no working. Okay, right? Yeah. So, luckily, one of my neighbors has a like a walker thing uh, that they don't need, and insurance has already covered one thing for me. But toward the end of last year, the landlord, uh, the apartment I was living in, was the roof was like there's some things going on. So the landlord, sent me 3 month notice to try and because he had to get in there and do some updates. Nobody's living in there anymore. But unfortunately, I got the flu. Okay, and I didn't have the same kind of support because I wasn't in a residential program anymore. And when you're under 65, people, there are less resources for people. But yeah, the reason I'm basically on here is I'm not going to keep repeating myself. If you can get on WhatsApp or you can get on X or you can certainly get on my YouTube. Right. So this right here, okay, the National Institute of Health, which is a trusted source, right? Yeah. Functional neurological disorder. So the symptoms are very, very similar to Parkinson's. Okay, it's just different things that make it happen. So here are the symptoms that could be included, which I have. I'll say if I have it or not. Uh, GERD, reflux situations. I have that. Um, it's not. I'll probably have to have an operation. Okay, because I'm on 2 different GERD medications a day, and it's still issues. So my flap doesn't work and all this other stuff. Plus, I have gastroparesis, which is, my part of my digestive system is paralyzed, so it doesn't process the same way most people does, and I have to like sit up and I got to use gravity, yeah, and certain other things in order to, but also IBS, which can be constipation or diarrhea. Dizziness, sometimes, right, have taken medication, sometimes vertigo, other kind of stuff. Problems with cognitive functioning, yes, that happens to me sometimes. I'm just, bleh, I don't know. I forget things sometimes. I mean, it's not as predictable, but that's just how it is. So, I do have a neurologist who specializes in it over at Johns Hopkins in the city. But because I have so many specialists, it's been a little while since I've seen him, but he also kind of helps with my care team coordinate what kind of medication can exacerbate it. So I'm off the medication that could. Unfortunately, medication that I was on that was anti-seizure medication has, yes, not, it's not as effective. And I've only been on it for like 7, 8 months. But the issue is, I think also that some of my other medication reduces the effectiveness, so it's just not working. So I have tremors, and I can have little episodes. There's seizure-like episodes, right? It can happen any moment. Movement problems. Oh, absolutely, right. Plus, I have osteoarthritis. And I know I need one hip on one side, but the eventuality of it, I'm going to need another hip, and I'm not going to need 2 new knees. And I have to get an epidural in my back because I have, I don't know, like crushed or damaged 2 discs or something. And they can put like a neurostimulator in my back. The situation is that if they do that, they kind of want to make sure I have my hip done first and recovered from that. So, when these things happen are basically, not really up to me. It's when there's time and availability and when I have transportation and all that kind of stuff. So, if you can't understand that, you want to put pressure on me, then you are an ultimate low time shitbag. All right? Assholes. Go bother somebody else. Leave me be. Speech difficulties. Yes, I've said that when sometimes it's like Bell's palsy. Sometimes Bell's palsy can happen for a lot of reasons. Yeah, I've been bitten by enough ticks to know that Bell's palsy is one of the signs of what you call Lyme disease, but it's also, it could be other things. And so Bell's palsy can also, like something that's similar to Bell's palsy. Onset of stuttering. Yeah, you can have a sudden onset of stuttering. Speech difficulties. I try to get words out and they're there, but it's like there's hesitation, and a lot of people don't have patience for that. They just run me the fuck over. I don't know. Ask me what the fuck is wrong with me and all that shit. I'm like, I've been fucking telling you. Problems with vision and hearing. Yes, my vision changes often. That's why and I can only get new lenses every other year because that's what the insurance allows. And I have reduced hearing for a person my age, which is 53. Pain constantly. Now, my pain condition that has to do with this is called fibromyalgia. And there's some things, but Lyrica didn't work for me. I mean, some of the things I've tried. So, I'm doing Cymbalta, Neurontin or gabapentin or something. That's not right. That was actually causing me more issue than not. So, I'll take that. Extreme slowness and fatigue. Right. So, people may want a response from me online. Well, I don't give a shit what the fuck you want. You're not here taking care of me. Okay? You have no say in this at all. Okay? Yeah, that's another one. Extreme slowness and fatigue. So, some days I have a little more energy and I can move a little faster, but I'm starting to slow down again, and it's sort of like a thing. Some people just don't have patience for that. I mean, quite literally, I know people who won't run a seriously disabled person right the fuck over. Literally. I'm subject to heightened potassium, which can be dangerous, dangerous really quickly with my heart, called hyperkalemia. So a lot of foods that people are saying are healthy can actually kill me. So fuck you. Numbness of inability to sense touch. Yeah, I mean, I get numbness sometimes, but I'm so used to it. I can't track all this in a diary or journal. I try to say it's another reason I put it up online, so I can go back and doctors. I can say, okay, well, I know it was around that time. Let's look on my YouTube to see if like which symptom is going on. Yeah, so it says FDN can cause multiple symptoms that significantly interfere with how a person functions and copes with daily life. Symptoms of FDN are not intentionally produced and can involve any part of the body. Symptoms may appear suddenly. Okay, increase with attention to them and decrease with when person is distracted. Right. So you have to. There isn't there like some things I know. There's like this little like I start to know, okay, where I'm starting to feel the belt, or I'm having a fibromyalgia flare up, and there's little hints and signs that it's coming, but there's nothing I can do to stop. I can just be prepared for the symptoms of it. Brain imaging like MRIs and CT scans. That's another place. I'm a frequent flyer. Yes, MRI. Yes, I'm also a frequent flyer at the ATI, hydro water aquatherapy, physical therapy. Um, it says, yeah, and other neurological tests, information disorders, and diagnosis and procedures are often normal. However, research studies that have used functional neuroimaging and neurophysiology, both of which focus on how the brain works rather than what it looks like, have demonstrated changes in that the connection between different regions of the brain. People with FDN, which is functional neurological disorder, uh, the brain is unable to send and receive signals properly. The U.S. government agreed that I can't work. Sometimes hallucinations, but that's because I have also periodic limb movement disorder, which is a part of it. So that is like restless leg, except it's your whole body's restless. And because of pain and other thing, it's very hard in sleep to find a proper position that doesn't cause me some issue. I toss and turn a lot. Sometimes it's hard to fall asleep because, yeah, the way that the neurological stuff work, it looks normal, but it doesn't function the way it should. Increased activity in the limbic system, which deals with emotions and behavior, resulting in problems with regulation, emotion, and responding to stress. So you want to fucking put my life in further danger there, dumbass fucking Illuminati or fake Illuminati. Whoever the fuck you are, cowards. Well, I wouldn't wish it on you. Trying to tell me I'm lazy. Go crawl back in your mama's fucking rooms. How I feel about you. Right. I mean, trying to tell me I gotta do this and that and the other thing, lazy. Fuck you. You need to prove anything to you people. Stop talking about yourself like that. There are many types of FDN, diverse range. Some people's symptoms are short-lived, and others may last for years. Yeah, there's dissociative seizures can happen, and functional movement disorder. Right. So it's eye closure during episodes can happen. Yeah, I've had that where I'm like talking to people and my eyes are closed. Like, side to side head movement, which right, that's when I start really like making sure that I watch every step I take. I use a stability thing like a cane or a walker because my feet will drag and I'll fall down. I may not like a fall risk some of the time. I lose my balance and shit. And prolonged attacks, hyperventilation. That's one thing I haven't had much of, thankfully. Shaking all over the body, yes, with awareness. And so, yeah, it's like tremoring. Yeah, I get the shakes, and then I can't like hold a pencil, muscle weakness, and stuff like that. And oh, where'd you go? I accidentally just hit something on my screen I didn't mean to do. I am grateful that I have internet at home at the very least. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. It's like, who is more likely, right? Is more common in women and can affect children and adults. Um, Movement disorders begin to have symptoms around their late 30s. I started having earlier symptoms. Some of that was probably stress, but also like my family was dying at a breakneck pace around me. I mean, I was only 40 something when my parents died. My mom. Right. And I never knew my dad's side grandparents, just heard stories. Uh, FDN can coexist with other disorders. Treatment. Strong two-way communication between the healthcare provider and the patient is important for effective treatment of FDN. So that's difficulty. Physical therapy, psychotherapy, medications, right? Uh, Other treatments that, yeah, TMS, which is transcranial magnetic stimulation, which I have to go right into Baltimore City for that, and that's like, I don't know, at least an hour and a half away from here. Uh, Sometimes a TENS unit can help. There's no cure for fibro, and there's no cure for osteoarthritis, and that's that. Right now, that's what's the case. What am I gonna do? So, that's that. I, I try and get across to people as often as I can on like updates and other stuff. I don't do typing and all that. I don't usually put them physically or do a text based online journal anymore because of all these things, and it is easier for me to just do it this way because the transcript is right provided, and I talk about other things, and I try not to, and like I involve some dancing and other sorts of things. Just where I live now, there's a lot less room, but I'm working on it, and I gotta figure out why YouTube does some of the things it does. I'm still working on that, so not really using music right now, but I do try and pre-sing a radio at least once a day. It's gonna be a little harder for me with a phone. Uh, and they say I have diabetes. Actually, it's pre-diabetes because like my last A1C was 6.2, but that can affect me too. And some of that does have to do with my medication, and some of it has to do with the kind of foods that I'm very limited on the foods that my body can handle. So, yeah, I spend a lot of time working on just little things sometimes, like brushing my teeth every day. You want to call me lazy? You better do it to my face, right? So, you know, uh, there are other symptoms that might come along with it. Yes, some of them are very Parkinson's like. It's one side of my body is affected more than the other. Not to say my right side isn't sometimes, but my left side definitely. When it starts going, man, my left side takes a hit. My left ankle will drag. I sometimes lose my legs right out from underneath. So anyway, that's that. But I wanted to just put that up there so people would understand that there's like different types of Parkinsonism. There's like Parkinson's syndrome or Parkinsonisms. It is a movement disorder, no doubt, and it can cause me serious issues. So and unfortunately, uh, insurance doesn't cover everything, and so all my medical stuff had to get put out on the street because I couldn't find anybody but one person. Yeah, I couldn't find reasonable Section 8 housing in enough time to vacate my old apartment because I also got COVID in between. Like from October to December, I had a flu lasted a while. I mean, it takes a while for me to heal and get over that longer because immunosuppression and issues like that can happen. And so that's just that. Um, and I get a little money every month. So the money I do get from my SSI, it all goes straight to um, the place where I'm in residential, where I can get some psychotherapy and some rides and a little bit of support because I don't have that from family and some of my friends. Really, not really my friends. And there's assholes online trying to ask me for fucking money. I don't know how you fuckers sleep at night. Anyway, so that's the gist of it. This is reality. I'm not afraid of reality. I'm not running from my life. Okay, but there are days I can hardly get out of bed. I gotta concentrate on my hygiene. So like, if someone in good health my age, likely, you get up, brush your teeth, but sometimes just bathing and getting everything all cleaned up and doing all that stuff, can take me uh, longer than I've got hot water in the hot water heater. So sometimes I have to, like, what I try to do is not wash my hair every day because it can strip stuff. But I get it wet and put conditioner on it, so I don't always wash it. But I mean, I try to get my whole body one day, and then since I'm not using the shampoo, then I use that time because also my shower chair was put out on the street. And I don't give a shit what the fuck. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? I'm like, it's none of your fucking business. You'll never know because I won't wish that on you. There are other people in the world who kind of understand that. I also get sprains more easily because when my body isn't working the right way, I can turn my foot in, which tears a ligament, and I'll sprain my elbow. And it's actually not that bad. I mean, it's a minor sprain. It's not that bad. I've had that happen to me before because I almost fell and I was holding on to the railing to keep myself and tweak my elbow. So I do a little bit of physical therapy at home. It's starting to get better. I just avoid the use of it, and I do certain things I know help. Um, but that gets in my way too. And, uh, so trying to take the bus, public transportation, it's like I never know when I'm gonna have an issue. So if I'm on a bus and I have an issue, it's like I can't. And plus, you gotta pay extra for that. And even though I'm disabled, it's still $1, right? Like there's just a lot of stuff. And today I get my boob squeezed. And females who've done mammograms know what I mean. I mean, I hear it's better than it was, so I mean, I'm not going to complain. In 15 minutes or something. Uh, I have dense tissue, so trying, it, it's a little more, yeah, it's not as conclusive, but we just monitor it. And I have a thyroid nodule. And so far it hasn't grown, but I need to go get that checked again. I've had this stuff for a while. And it took a long time to get the proper diagnosis. So, kind of dragging to that. Anyway, I usually try to get out of the house and socialize with people who have uh, other issues, and we do support groups and like art therapy and stuff like that, and there's like things we can do during the week to try and get out. Mm, but they have their issues too, and so I'm not going to be asking them for borrow some fucking money. I owe the residential program I'm in a little bit of money because my landlord previously did not give me back my security deposit, and I've tried to get people to help me with that, but legal assistance is now no longer in Cecil County. And it's only on like Tuesdays and Thursdays a certain time. Yeah, so I can't go there physically. It's in a different county. Some things I can do on the phone. I mean, it's just that I got enough to handle just trying to stay clean. I mean, like physically body clean. You know what I'm trying to say? No, I'm not a former alcoholic. No, I'm not a former, junkie of any kind of thing. I might be sports junkie sometimes. It's mostly hockey. So, a little bit of hockey junkie. Um, and here in this program, therapy pets are not allowed. So I also don't have the proper funds for that. So, I get my kitten therapy on shorts and YouTube, like Merv the cat. Bagagua. Summoning Bagagua. Charles. That's funny. Merv. And then there's Baby Corn. I love Baby Corn. Yeah, Baby Corn is so cute. And he tries, he struggles. I feel for him. I get it. That happens to me sometimes. But yeah, it looks like a neurological thing. He gets wobbly, and he's trying. I mean, he gets socialization, and he gets visits from the vet, and he's got fans, so that's nice. And then Seven, the cat. Yeah, it's funny they put these things like Seven when they go out. They don't do it all the time, but when they go out to a couple places where there's coffee and they'll give you a little pup cup. So for Seven, it's more like a pup lid. They'll put a little cream on there for him. But this cat started getting fussy. Like he soon knows, like, oh, I'm getting give me the pup cup already. That all these little little captions and stuff. Seven, right? And they dress them up in fun little outfits, and the Meowfy, and I think I'm gonna put that here on my in the chat box. So the Meowfy is another cat one, and I look, some of it is just all over the internet, but they tend to have like content that others don't. They're not just reusing somebody else's content and all that. But yeah, so um, I follow them, and I like their little thing they do. I guess once a week, caption this picture. That's been fun for me. They don't have enough followers, so if you want like more original content, and I'm tired of looking at the same cats all the time. I mean, I'll never get tired of looking at that cat. Hello, yeah, cat. And then there's a cat that barks. Gumbus. Yeah, like the way they put it, that's cool. Yeah, Gumbus. I think Gumbus is cute. Some people might not think Gumbus is cute, but I'd put that down there. There, if you want some cat therapy online. But yeah, the Meowfy they need subscribers because it's original content, and they have less repeats, and they use their own content. So I appreciate that. Anyway, so getting new microphones and all that kind of stuff slowly but surely. Took a break from looking at some of the footage for documentary because I just got tired looking at myself. But I'll get back to it. I also got to figure out which, like, yeah, which kind of, like, I can't remember the word for it, but yeah, I need to get something. Uh, yeah, the movie making, like movie studio, or yeah, something like that. We used to have Sony, but yeah, once what was it, Microsoft 11 or whatever came, I couldn't use that Sony anymore, and I don't have. I mean, I have some that's included. It's just not as, there's some things it doesn't have that I would want to use for the documentary. So, I mean, pretty much I have all the footage that I need. Just, some days I have more energy than others, and, so, yeah, that's just all I can say. I don't have anything else to say than, let people know that there's different types of movement disorders, ataxia. Yeah, I mean, it's not all Parkinson's, but yeah, they kind of put it under that umbrella, Parkinsonism, Parkinson, right? And I definitely have movement disorder. Yeah, like the doctor, when I did the sleep test, said to me, it's like you're running a marathon when you're sleeping. So I know, uh, and sometimes, yeah, with PTSD, I have lifelong. So um, things have improved because I know, but you don't really always know when it's going to hit you with the post traumatic stress. And so that's another thing that I do therapy for. And, I don't really know what all the triggers are, and I can't really avoid them out in the world. So just do the best I can. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I'm on a rocky, yeah, road path. It's like I know, like, I'm not. Yeah, I was looking to go to my orthopedist. I'm like, well, what kind of itis do I have now? Yeah, like, tendonitis, bursitis, arthritis. So I never know how my day is gonna go until I walk through my day. And some days it's sort of like I'm dragging because I didn't get proper sleep. And then at that point, yeah, if you go long enough and you can't, yeah, that's the thing is, but taking some of those medications, I can't. I've already tried them. Yeah, some of them are not good for me, and yeah, and made everything worse. So yeah, sometimes hallucinations. But psychosis, not psychosis and I'm psychotic and I'm gonna kill you, because that's not really what it means, and so many people are not at all schooled or understanding what any of this shit means, these terminologies. You just think you do. And I disagree with most of them. Like, you don't fucking know. Okay, and the doctor and people at the movement disorder place clinic over there at Hopkins know. Okay, you don't. $300. So yeah, there's changes in Medicare and Medicaid and other things like that. Uh, I try to volunteer, but I have to have a little bit of support with that. Wouldn't be able to do that if I were living independently. So you know, just the way it is. And that's that. Sometimes I gain weight, sometimes I lose weight. Some of it's medication, some of it's because I can't get out and be physically active like other people can. Try to do what I can at home. Have to spend a lot of time at home because this is my safest location because I fall or uh, right? Like my appetite, I lose my appetite altogether. Then some people start noticing, oh, you're losing weight at a fast pace, and then I gain it back, and yeah, sometimes it's change of medication, sometimes it's I have an appetite, sometimes I don't. My body was already weak from recovering from cancer, but I mean, at this moment, I'm still saying I'm in remission. Uh, but I still have to check thyroid nodule and GYN. I'm behind on doctors. It's just too stressful and overwhelming, so I just do the best I can. Know? If that's not good enough for you, I don't really give a fuck. Who the fuck are you? That's how I feel. All right. Yeah. Parkinson's people need like race for the cure, all that kind of stuff. Get out of their way. Very urgent matter. So I appreciate some people, send healthy, good vibes, prayers, all that kind of stuff. There's some things I need that I can't afford. Um, that's just the way it is. I don't get Christmas presents. I don't get birthday presents. So, not much I can do about it except for just continue to try and figure out what's the best way to handle something and what kind of resources. I also have a skin condition called hidradenitis suppurativa. These large acne cysts and boils and around your privates, your armpits, and under the boobs. No cure for that either. Some treatments. My insurance stopped paying for one of them, but I think there's generics. It's just a question I got to get face to face with my doctors. And that can take a while. Okay, you're not allowed to put stress on me. Alright, I don't give a shit then. If I had a lot of turds contact me recently. I know some of them are fake celebrities straight out. I mean, but that's what I'm getting at. Like, I'll start talking, I'm like, you're not that person. Yeah, good for you. Bye. Yeah, I mean, I block people and now I just ignore people sometimes. They're all like, well, like long distance kind of, and it's just like, you want to, like, you got all these high expectations of what I'm able to do. Like, I'm just mysteriously cured of all of it or something. I'm not. And I have a hard enough time just trying to take care of myself. And, yeah, I've been celibate for, I don't even, 12 years. Right. I mean, I don't really have a chance to meet people that often. I just spend a lot of time with doctors, medical things, right, like activities for people with movement disorders and try and, increase the quality of my life, which is dropped significantly. I love driving and I can't do that anymore. And I liked working, and I can't do that anymore. I can do a little bit here and there, put up some public information, discuss things that somebody runs across it, they know, like, oh, I'm not the only one, blah, blah, blah. And the treatments for, these things can differ depending on age and other kinds of things. So, I do the best I can, and I put my update here, and I put information here that, other people might find useful. But, I mean, that's that. So now, more wary about certain accounts trying to follow me and all that. I do try to sing a radio. Like I said today, it may not happen that way, but we try. Right. And music that I really like musicians, and but I'll listen to new musicians, or I'll listen to music I've never heard before. I mean, actually, sometimes the actual musicians who make music will contact me and say, "Will you listen to my song?" and that kind of thing. And I appreciate them for that. You know. But there's only so much I can do, and you're not allowed to try and cause me damage anymore. Okay? Don't ask me for fucking money. What are you guys fucking drunk? I mean, that makes you like bottom crawling there on the ground kind of shitty. You're not getting back up again. Fuck you. Jesus is the light. I know this. He's the truth. Actually, you keep looking for the truth, you're going to run across that one. Religion is just simply a word, you understand? Okay, it's something you do every day. Well, I love every day. And, some of us might have to carry a heavier load sometimes, and say, well, if I were actually going to be all involved in an ice hockey season, I'll tell my ice hockey friends straight out, like, well, I got to take a season off because I got too many boo boos. I got too many little boo boos. They all add up to one big, pain in the ass for me. I try and keep a sense of humor. I try and check in with them when I'm still around, and give them thumbs up and hearts and comments. And I do check scores and check during the season. Occasionally, I could watch games, but not like I used to. And but I still love and appreciate them. I don't always agree with what they do or what they say, but for the most part, decent doobies. I like the gentle giants. I like the giants. I mean, well, you can do whatever you want to them, but you gotta be gentle with me, okay? No, right? So there are people who try and tell me their thoughts and good wishes and other kind of things, and I appreciate that. And and people giving me shit like, you have no followers, and I'm like, I got some, but I'm a little more specialized, so I get it, And I mean, like, I kind of discourage the teenagers here like nobody's business, right? But I also tell friends of autistics because I am on the spectrum, and I have been for a very long time. My parents put me in regular school because they thought that was better for me. And when I was younger, yeah, I had like special tutor sections. But eventually, yeah, I started doing better with like formalized school and education and stuff like that. So, I sometimes I couldn't keep up, but I would, do my best. But once I started getting into college, I mean, I really liked school and the people I met and the things I learned and that kind of stuff. So one of my goals in life was to obtain a PhD. So I did do that, but not at the age of 50. So if you got that goal, just keep your eye on it, little by little, class by class. Just keep looking for a way to keep. You might have to stop one semester. You may have to reduce your course load. You might have to find a different kind of school that, right, is more suitable for working life. But I got a job at the university, Towson, where I went, and they had, at first it was, I mean, I had a contractual job. You don't get the same benefits, but I did actually get a job with a pin and those of you who've worked for the state of Maryland, but there were other things that I had to consider because I was a little bit older student. It'd be considered non-traditional, but I did actually get tuition remission because I worked full-time at the mathematics office, so that was helpful. And it reduced the amount I had to pay off in school loans, which I have paid off. Had to sell my house and my car, pay some of my musical instruments and stuff like that to pay medical bills. So, people think they just so much better, but they've never been walking around in other people's shoes. So, just shut your mouths. Okay, and if you don't want it to happen to you, do it to somebody else. Right? I'm not one of those people that do as has been done to me. Alright? Because that would be the wrong thing to do. I ask for help all the time. And some of you are physically able to do that, and some of you are financially able to do that, but you're just getting right. My destiny has to do with other people, not just me. So, if you have to go more slowly but surely, I mean, if you are trying to get a PhD, it took me till I was 50 to do that. But I did finally get that accomplished. I've already taken care of my elderly family, and they're deceased now. I did have children. They're deceased. I was supposed to get married, but he died in a car accident. I took the time to heal from those things and try and, figure out the diagnosis, functional disorder. I got osteoarthritis. These things do not currently have a cure on Earth. So my health is declining. And I don't want some shiny, rosy people thinking, long distance relationship. And I'm like, but I'm not going to be able to do those things. Not without a lot of effort and a lot of help. And, some people act all pissed off and indignant, and text doesn't always express the actual, undertones and, in hockey, intangibles, right? So, lower your fucking expectations. Stay the fuck away from the Illuminati or fake Illuminati or whoever people are. I mean, how fucking obnoxious can anybody get? I mean, you're the bottom of the pile as far as I'm concerned. All right? Okay. I appreciate it. Appreciate your thoughts. All right? So, yes, everybody take care. I know it felt shifts. There's things, I know they're having. And there are times when I don't understand for a while either. But eventually clarity comes along. So it's, okay. I've learned not to be hard on myself because I can't. I give myself breaks. But the American medical situation, and if people in the United States want to bully me and hassle me, and my own fellow countrymen, want to freaking give me shit, why do you think I don't? I don't have to tolerate that. People should be willing to help me pro bono. Simple. Simple enough. Especially a military family, United States. I took care of my work, and that was hard. But he died sober. He died well taken care of, and he even quit smoking. And we had, those times I was very close to my dad and my mother, but my dad and I for sure. I still miss my dad, and he's been gone since 2005. If you've hardened your heart, step out. That wasn't really the right thing to do. You need a little help before you can help anybody else. All right. Take care, everybody.